Well, welcome. My name is Ricardo Pimentel. I'm the editorial page editor of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Today we're taping a representative example of how we discuss things. We're doing this as part of a Sunday Crossroads package that dissects how the editorial page works and the perspective page works. So today we're going to talk first about some foster care problems, and it's a topic that Ernie Franzen, an editorial writer, associate editor, is tackling for us this week. One member of the board is missing today. That's James Causey, the editor and publisher editor Marty Kaiser and the publisher Betsy Brenner are also members of the board. They are absent today as well. So Ernie, do you have a recommendation on foster care?
Okay, we've had a couple of editorials since the death of the child in foster care, talking about the need for more foster care parents and for also some more improvements in the Department of Child Welfare. The most recent story that we had talked about the department seemingly coming down on the foster parents who want to take this kid in. And they brought the woman in for a psychiatric evaluation. They also sent them a bill for some overpayments the department said they had made. I think we need a better explanation from the department at the very least. This sounds almost Orwellian, where you question something the department is doing. The foster parents in this case were questioning what the Bureau was doing in placing this child back in the place where the child was eventually killed. So they were questioning that, and suddenly you're brought in for a psychiatric evaluation that just doesn't make sense to me. So I think we should come down hard on the department. Give us an explanation of what went on. They have not adequately answered questions from our reporters. Talk to or encourage the governor to get involved in the situation to clean up what's going on with the state here, and sort of just find out what really happened here and why are they doing this?
Ernie, are they still withholding information? I know the reporters have an open records request, and they're
right.
citing privacy, which clearly is an issue. But
yeah.
I think we've argued in the past that we shouldn't let them hide behind that.
Absolutely. And I was checking yesterday on Facebook, of all places, and our reporter, Crocker Stevenson, had posted a message there asking for the head of the department here to call him because he can't get return phone calls. So they're not releasing any information. As far as I know, I haven't checked this morning yet, but that situation is still in place. They simply can't do this.
Yeah.
They can't allow this to continue.
I don't think it's an issue of privacy. That it's for what it seems like for Crocker is that the point that he's making in his reporting and in the stuff I've seen on Facebook is he can't even get someone from there to
right.
call him.
Right.
Whether or not they can give details of the case, he's not asking, tell me everything that maybe the public shouldn't be allowed to have. He's just saying,
right.
Can someone give me a call and at least explain to me, tell me a little bit about what's going on? At a minimum, someone could call and say, we're so sorry that this happened and we're looking into it. But I think his frustration and the frustration of a lot of people that I've seen in letters to the editor yesterday and in some of the Facebook comments is growing because she won't even call him.
There may have been some technical violations by the foster parents in releasing a photo of a kid, for example, to the media. But
the child is dead.
And none of that, yes, and none of that amounts to.
That makes a difference.
And the sibling is known, so there are no privacy issues that I can discern.
Right.
But again, if there are, it would be nice if they told us.
Mm-hmm.
But shouldn't we be pressuring perhaps the governor? He's the person at the top.
Or Reggie.
Whatever happened, a child died, and
right.
it's in a system that works, that wouldn't happen.
Right. I thought I said that, and if I didn't, I meant to. The governor needs to get involved in this.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other comments?
Patrick, you had your...
Well,
I mean, aside from the need for them to, they do need to make public the things that ought to be going to the public, but it's part of this theme. They weren't returning the calls of the foster parents themselves. There have been hints that from other foster parents over, I guess, recent months of similar sort of bureaucracy, this sort of bluff approach. If this were an isolated case of a couple who were just not getting through, not getting their calls returned, that's one thing, but they weren't getting their calls returned. It sounds like other foster parents have been reporting the same thing, and then they get referred to as shrink. I mean, that's not merely, to the extent that this is often said to be just a matter of understaffing. Oh, they're understaffed, they need more staff. I'm sure they do, but there's that hostility of saying, we're going to send you to the shrink because you must be nuts because you're not accepting my explanations.
But the thing is, I have heard that their caseloads have actually decreased.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that their caseloads still aren't onerous.
Right.
But
and how do you
decreased.
react to the caseloads? This is the referring them to the psychiatrist is hostility that has nothing to do with dealing with a big caseload.
Right.
But we have to be careful. Obviously, we would not want a child placed in an unsuitable home.
There doesn't seem, but there, at least at this point, there doesn't seem to be any indication that that might have happened if they had placed the child back with the foster parents. According to, I'm sorry, Crocker was supposed to have left me the psychological report that was done then. They didn't find anything wrong with the mother.
Yeah, it seemed like their issue with the West Allis mother was that,
This is the foster parent.
yeah,
Yeah.
that she wouldn't take no for an answer. She was insistent.
Right. The
on trying to
implication
adopt
was
the
that
child.
she was obsessively interested in the child and that they were questioning her interest. Well,
You know, I've been
if
in-
the child was with them and they loved the child and wanted to adopt him.
I've been insistent
And her-
with government
and her
officials,
insistence.
and I don't want to be referred to a psychiatrist.
4
if I-
times.
And her insistence was not misplaced, as we now see. I mean, she may well have had some insight as to what the alternative arrangement for this kid would have been, which, as it turns out, was awful. The
Right.
kid died.
Okay.
I mean, we do want foster parents who are passionate about the interests of their kids.
So you're again going to press the agency for more accountability. You're going to press the governor for intervening and forcing some accountability and some disclosure. And why don't you check also into the caseload question, whether
Sure.
it has decreased or not, and whether it's still onerous or not.
Okay.
I think we need to make the point that this is intimately tied to the problem of if there are not enough safe places for children, if there are not enough foster parents willing to take them in, I mean, there's an obvious link here. This is not how to be attractive to future foster parents, intimidating the ones you've got.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
right.
more than just a sort of a remote public
That's a
interest.
big
This is
issue.
the urgent part.
Their behavior here may intimidate anyone from being involved in the
Oh,
foster
yeah.
care,
Right.
program.
Well, and the number of families participating has dropped so dramatically in the last few years, and some of the comments that I saw on the Facebook group imply that families have checked out of the system because of their frustration with similar things, not getting calls returned, ridiculous stuff that they've had to go through. So.
Okay.
Can we also, I don't know if we want to tackle this in this editorial or not, but part of this seems to be, you know, you had this family and the child's grandparents who had come from out of state who were interested in caring for him. But it seems that part of the reason for the placement was family preference. Is that something that we would ask them
Did
to
we
examine
touch on
at
that
all?
in previous editorials?
We did. We said that it's a good goal. Family reunification is a good goal, but it doesn't trump the safety of the child. And we should reiterate that.
I wonder why, if there were some sort of nebulous concerns about the mother's mental stability, I wonder why they were so quick to take the child. I guess we don't know enough details about why he was taken away from his mother, but if you're going to have a bias for the family, why not be more reluctant to remove a child unless it's clear that there's
I wonder if she
danger?
I wonder if she got an evaluation, like this prospective foster mother.
That's a good question.
Okay, I think you have enough to proceed.
Sure.
This will be an editorial for tomorrow. Why don't you call it foster? And that's how we do it. Thank you very much.